And this matter I took to the Federal Court of Canada, saying, I didn't go public. I wasn't a whistleblower. I didn't do anything. This information came out before the Senate. It became public. And so how can you put a gag order on me? I was a parliamentary witness. There are some privileges in doing that. So anyway, the Federal Court of Canada ruled that it was my duty to blow the whistle. When I had given this information to my bosses inside the department, and they didn't do what was necessary, then I had to do by law what I did. I had to, particularly when the highest authority, the Senate, asked me to speak the truth, and I did. So anyway, this decision came out in year 2000. Now the whole government of Canada got worried. What to do? Scientists in other departments, they will now be blowing the whistle on environment, on fisheries, on whatever, forestry, whatever. And a political decision behind the scenes was made. Fire ship Chopra and whoever goes with him. And in 2004, 3 of us were fired. At this time, 4 were left, and we had been harassed. We'd been put in individual offices in different towers. We couldn't go out. We got locked out. We couldn't talk to each other. All kinds of things were done. And one of us died. He was the youngest. He had a massive heart attack and died. He was 54 years of age. Then, still in this adversity, 3 of us went on sick leave with medical certificates from our individual doctors, severe stress. We were consulting with psychologists. This was happening to all of us. I was getting attack after attack of shingles. Usually I'm in pretty good health, but under stress, these things happen. And so in 2004, all 3 of us, while on sick leave, all 3 of us were fired for insubordination. That case is still before the courts. So during this time, I felt obliged to put everything on the record. That's why I published this book, Corrupt to the Core, because when I say corrupt to the core, I mean it. The whole system, the prime ministers, the presidents, the courts, they've all become part of it. Nobody gives a damn anymore. Just yesterday, or a few days ago, the United States Supreme Court has said that if people get damaged, the children get damaged due to vaccine, they can't sue either the government or the companies. By what right who is to decide to shove vaccines into people when they don't want it? Who decides what food they should eat, whether it's GMO or infested with all those toxic products or hormones, antibiotics and GMOs and pesticides and slaughterhouse waste? It's all the food. 76 million people in the United States get foodborne infections every year. Thousands die, about 5,000 people die. In Canada, 11 million people, 1/3 population, every year gets acute foodborne disease. Nobody talks about chronic foodborne disease, diabetes, obesity, heart attacks, all those things that are happening, and nobody seems to care. Now, they're off to doing the same thing all over the world. I just read yesterday's newspaper. Campbell Soup wants to give away the soups, and they call them perfect nutrition to hungry people, 1 billion people. So this is the kind of corruption that is now hitting us all over. Every country is involved in this. US has passed this bill S510. Canada has passed a similar bill, and India is passing a similar bill. They're even saying if you criticize after the government has passed approved products, for criticizing without your own proof, you go to jail. I don't know whether it's Soviet Union, China, or Hitler's time. I mean, we talk about what's happening in the Middle East. People are screaming everywhere. The issue is food. It's not prosperity. People are talking about food security. And here, in the richest countries of the world, food is no longer going to be grown. Canada, here, when I came here 50 years ago, 25% people used to be in agriculture. Now it's 1%. The average age of Canadian farmers is over 60 years. Just 2 days ago, I was a keynote speaker at a conference, and people are so upset with the organic farmers, and they're being pressured to just move aside. I don't know where it's going to end up. These same corporations are into large slaughterhouses, into rearing animals, and they're moving their operations, factory farm operations, to third world countries. And they are saying they're going to feed the hungry world. Where is the hungry world? Hungry world is feeding the non-hungry world now. You give it 5 more years, there would be no food produced here. It'll all be coming from overseas, processed, sold by people like Walmart and companies like that, and that is what's happening. So I felt it took me a long time to write the book. I believe this is the only book. A lot of people claim as whistleblowers. In the book, I have provided every documentary account, every proof how this happened. The emails attached, names are named, everybody's there. Government even tried to put it in court, and the judge did not allow them. We'll see where it goes. I'm still waiting for the decision any day now, whether insubordination is upheld or not. Because my question is, insubordination is when you refuse to do something. I didn't refuse to work. I refused to do what they told me to do, which was illegal. And so the court says, the Supreme Court says, that's my obligation. So what do? Am I insubordinate to the law or insubordinate to my bosses? I chose to be insubordinate to my bosses. And that's what the book is all about. It's now published here. It's become a bestseller. It's also available in French because we're a bilingual country. It's also published in India, separately. Same book, same title. So it's become a world book. It just shows the same kind of corruption is happening everywhere. You know, there's a silver lining. And that is the European Union has banned a number of the products that we've had this interview with you before, the Toxic 5. People should really watch that again on your videos. That in our food supply there are 5 items which have never been tested, but they are in our food supply. Hormones, antibiotics, slaughterhouse waste, genetically modified organisms and their products, and pesticides. The European Union has banned, 20 years ago, they banned hormones, antibiotics, and slaughterhouse waste. They have not yet approved GMOs. and they are already beginning to ban a number of pesticides. So, if it's trade, US and Canada are fighting in the World Trade Organization against the European Union, that each one is accusing the other of being less scientific. And the Europeans have proof, they have shown that hormones cause cancer, antibiotics cause antimicrobial resistance, which kills people, and slaughterhouse waste causes mad cow disease, causes CJD, kills people. The pesticides do the same thing, and GMOs on their own don't have a leg to stand on. These are weak seeds, weak organisms. Their only advantage is that they carry pesticides. And so without the pesticides, GMOs just simply cannot exist. So, and now the companies and governments, this coming G20 meeting is going to talk about, this is on the agenda. Food security has become #1 agenda item at the next G20 meeting. Food security for the whole world. And they're talking about feeding the hungry world. And they're saying the world population is now 7 billion. And 2050 is going to become 9 billion. So we need to double up the amount of food. I don't know how they do their math. If you're going to double the amount of food, and the people are only going to increase from 7 to 9 billion, and presently 40 to 50% of the food is being wasted even in a country like India. So why do we need more